A big possibility for WBC qualification, that is, pre-qualifiers to determine the teams for the WBC qualifiers. Nothing official on this, just a lot of talk as of right now. The idea is that the number of teams for the qualifiers will be reduced, probably down to 4, it was 6 last time. But instead of simply choosing the highest ranked teams for the 2 qualifiers, every country in the world will get a chance to qualify for the WBC through the pre-qualifiers. If true, this is great news. It means that every country in the world with a national baseball team can be a part of the process. Since the WBC first got started, it's been an invitational tournament. The first 2 editions only included 16 teams, no qualifiers, and some good baseball playing countries were left out. Colombia and Nicaragua had active major league players, but they weren't even able to participate. Instead, we got China and South Africa, with no major league players at all. The reasoning behind it was clear. They wanted every part of the world represented, and from 2013 onward, qualifiers have preceded the main tournament. Since then, there's been no doubt that the best 16 to 20 countries in the world were part of the WBC, or at least given the chance to participate in the qualifiers. In the last WBC qualifiers that took place 2 years ago, we got to see Argentina take part for the first time. For most of us, it was our first time seeing Argentina's national baseball team, and we didn't expect much from them. But they surprised us all by winning twice, and then nearly upsetting a team that did end up qualifying. It was a great story for the newcomers, and we were all glad to see it. But Argentina's inclusion came at the expense of the Philippines. Philippines were originally supposed to be in the qualifiers when they were scheduled for 2020, when the WBC was scheduled for 2021. When the WBC was rescheduled for 2023, qualifiers in 2022, the Philippines were bumped in favor of Argentina. Would the result have been any different if the Philippines had been there instead? I don't think so, but we'll never know. The fact that the last country to be added to the qualifiers pulled off 2 wins and came within 1 run of upsetting Nicaragua makes you wonder what countries that were not included could have done. Some questions people have about this. 1. Why reduce the number of qualifier teams from 6 to 4? Well, looking at the last WBC qualifiers that were held 2 years ago, in each of those 2 qualifiers, 2 countries looked like they really didn't belong there. They weren't way behind in terms of talent, but it seems like it would have made more sense to narrow each one down to the best 4 teams. Then you could go to a round-robin format and better determine which are the best 2 teams to send off to the WBC. That's the whole purpose of these qualifiers, not to be inclusive and invite everyone in, but to make sure you are finding the very best teams for the main tournament. This may also help to make the qualifiers an event of their own. Attendance was disappointing at both of the last qualifiers. There were a few things contributing to that, but one thing may have been too many countries involved. Some matchups were just not intriguing. With only 4 teams, every game looks and feels more important. And with it becoming the second step in the qualification process, people feel like being involved in the qualifiers is something they've earned, rather than just being invited. That should help to raise the enthusiasm among participant nations. When you think of pre-qualifiers, you might think of several tournaments going on all at the same time around the world, organized by the WBSC, but I think it's mostly going to be tournaments that already exist. Only now there will be more writing on the outcome. The West Asia Baseball Cup is set to take place this October. If rumors are true, that event will be the qualifier for that region. The champion team would get the spot for the qualifier. Previously, Pakistan was chosen as the highest-ranked team from West Asia, and they will be the favorites to win. But Sri Lanka has been known to take down Pakistan in the past. India could be the sleeping giant in the region. Bangladesh could make a Cinderella run. Less predictability means more excitement. Other regions may get 2 spots or more in the qualifiers. Europe, for example, not sure if they would want to use the European Championships as a qualifier, or set up a whole other tournament that doesn't include the Netherlands, Italy, Great Britain, and Czech Republic, countries that are already qualified for the WBC. Same for the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. Use an existing tournament, or set up one just for this purpose. Africa has had a hard time organizing any international tournaments lately. This will be a great chance to bring all the best countries there together and see which one is the best on the continent. Probably still South Africa for now, but we know Uganda has been catching up in talent the last few years, and we'd like to see how much they've caught up. If we go by the old system of just inviting the country that seems like the best one from each part of the world, we'd have to choose South Africa, without them having to prove anything on the field. By organizing a pre-qualifier tournament, they can make sure they're taking the absolute best from the African continent. This doesn't really change anything for the main tournament. At the next WBC in 2026, you're likely going to see the same countries you've seen in previous WBCs. Maybe 1 or 2 we've never seen before, but those will probably be countries that previously took part in the qualifiers. There isn't some country out there we've never heard of that's going to be playing in Miami versus Japan in a couple years. But this does make the qualification process a lot more interesting, a lot less predictable, and it will make the road to the WBC more competitive. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya!